Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today on Everyday Lutheran. In today's Bible study, we're beginning a brand new series in which we're exploring each book of the Bible. In today's Bible study, we're focused on Genesis. So I hope that this Bible study opens your heart, your mind, and your soul, and especially draws you closer to Jesus Christ and God Himself. Now, spoiler alert, this Bible study will contain stories that you know, but lessons that were not taught to you. We're going to continue at your own growth and your own understanding. So let's dive into the very first creation story. Now, the first creation story that takes place in chapters 1 and 2 really highlights the process, the system, and the way that God went through the world and created each and every individual part. We bear witness to God creating light and darkness, declaring that they are good. We bear witness to God creating the sky above us and the waters of this earth. We hear of the land and the plants that come and spring forth from the earth, bringing forth new life, bringing forth the existence and sustainability that we have even today. We hear of the sun and the moon and how they compile one single day. On day 5, we bear witness to the creatures that are created. The many animals, the insects, the birds, the fish, all the animals. On the 6th day, God created humankind, you and I. We begin to understand God is creating you and me, sustaining us, but also what is our role in everything? How is it you and I are created for a reason and a purpose, and where do we all fit? God created this very first human, Adam. On the 7th day of creation, God rested from it all. God rested from all of His labors to simply be a part of it, to enjoy it, and to celebrate all that it is. In the second creation story, however, we have a very different perspective. We do not have a process, we do not have a system of breaking it down. Rather, we are taken to a place, a location, where we are able to bear witness to everything being unfolded. We have all the plants, all the animals of creation. We even hear in this location the rivers that sustain this life, the Bashan, Gihon, Tigris, and Euphrates rivers. These are the rivers that bring forth water and life to all the animals and the plants and truly sustain it all. We hear of Adam. Adam is a Hebrew word really translated as mud guy, a person of the earth. It ties him to where it is he has come from, in which God shaped him and molded him out of the dirt and then breathed life into his nostrils. But it's also an understanding of what it is Adam, mud guy, is called to do. To take care of the world, to take care of the earth, to take care of the animals and the plants and everything that is involved therein. But Adam finds himself alone. Finding all the animals, all the plants, but not finding a companion, someone to be with, someone to really have as a partner, a companion in this world. And so God causes him to sleep, removes one of his ribs, and from that rib, He creates woman, Eve, the very first woman. Here, where God instructs Adam and Eve that when they see these two trees, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil and the tree of everlasting life, here, these two trees, they shall not eat or they shall die. The first commandment of God. A sacred space, a place set apart for humankind to realize and understand that there is a barrier, a separation, and even a difference between what God has created and what it is we are called to do and be. But why would God place this in the garden? Why would God even allow these things to take place? Why even offer temptation? Truly, God places them in the garden, but we do not know the answers to these questions. Yet we bear witness to this temptation being the reality for humankind, where humankind wants more, desires more, and they want to not only have what they have been given, but even more. Adam and Eve eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. They begin to understand all the things that are around them. They realize that they are naked. And when God confronts them, they confess that they ate of the tree. It's here that we have the very first sin in the world. A separation between God and humankind. Humankind turning away from God and what God has already offered to them, and wanting more. This is the very first sin, often referred to as the fall. A fall of humanity away from God. A fall from all the perfection that the Garden of Eden offered. And now we find ourselves being removed from the garden. God removes humankind, not destroying them, not causing death, as God promised them. But now humankind is being removed from their easy life. As you look at the map, you see a supposed site of where the Garden of Eden possibly is. In this location, we have all the rivers that are named. A beautiful, luscious place where life happened, where vegetation and animals would be sustained. However, it is this location of the Garden of Eden here on earth that scholars still debate because no one really knows for certain. No one was there, maps were not drawn, and we have forgotten much of what God has instilled in us and called us to be. These two creation stories can sometimes seem different, and yet both of them are really necessary. Now, the first creation story really gives an idea of the process, gives us insight into the complexities, the simplicities of how God created and uses us all in this creation to help one another, to work together, to sustain, and to truly be in connection with God always. It highlights the connectedness of all things, that when one thing suffers, something else will. That there's really a domino effect, that when one animal or one plant is no longer able to bear fruit or bring life, that another creature, another plant will also suffer. We bear witness to everything being connected and understanding the whole process. The second one, though, focuses more on relationships, on human relationships with God, God's relationship to creation, and humans' relationship with the creation itself. Now, humans are important in the aspects of what it is we are called to do, and also the sustainability of this world. However, we're also reminded here in this second creation story of the broken relationship from God. When we look at both of these creation stories, then we bear witness to why it is we need both. When we look at both, we gain a greater understanding of the different perspectives. That sometimes we need that process, we need to see that system, we need to understand the complexities and simplicities there. However, there's another component. We need to understand the relationship, the connectedness. We need to bear witness to how it all fits together. We can then view it from the eyes of God, the eyes of humanity. It gives us a greater understanding of the different ways God is living and acting and involved in this creation. We also understand our own role, human role within the whole of creation, and how it is called for us to work with God in the continued creation, in the sustaining of this creation as we know it, but also the need for the restoration of the relationship that is broken, that is needed to be mended, that is needed to be sustained for us to truly grow. Well, join us next time as we continue our journey through Genesis. And I invite you that if you enjoyed today's Bible study, please subscribe to the channel. It's free and you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to share and like this video as well.